Hi, this is Brass Check, and we're recording this on, wow, it's Friday the 13th, August, hot August here in the Hudson Valley. And I just want to do a little review of some historical basics. Um, the British Empire did a masterful job of learning how to undermine and weaken other countries. And I don't think anything they did was new, but I don't think anybody did it with as much relentlessness as they did. So we're going to go through a list of the things that they became expert in. Some of these things were independently rediscovered by John Rockefeller, which he used, and he used them to take over the international oil business. And then to solidify his hold on that, he helped create the OSS, or his agents helped create the OSS, which became the CIA, and the CIA inherited quite a bit of knowledge about how to undermine other societies, and also became a training ground for thousands and thousands of operatives hired by corporations, hired by consulting firms, think tanks, PR firms, and also hired by the U.S. government in all its various guises. So we're just going to go through a basic list of things that you know when you are seeking to undermine another country. So in no particular order, one of them is to create economic havoc. Why? That's one of the first things regular people feel. If the price of gas doubles, if they can't get food in the supermarket, they start looking at their leaders and saying, hey, why aren't you guys doing your job? Because the fundamental job of a leader is to make sure that people, A, don't starve, and B, have reasonably comfortable lives. So when that starts to degenerate rapidly, the leaders, even all these lunatics that support Joseph Biden, they are now starting to get impatient with him as they watch the economy deteriorate in the form of higher prices. So anyway, how does that work out? Well, you can think of the coup in Chile, which we now know was run by the CIA. Previous to the coup, they bribed labor officials in the trucking industry and got them to stage a trucking strike, which caused a lot of economic chaos in the country. We can also look at Cuba. We have done everything short of dropping an atom bomb on Havana to destroy the economy of Cuba. It is a dignified place, but the people there have really, really, really scant material resources. You'd almost have to go to Africa or Central America. I mean, everybody eats and everybody goes to school and everybody has some kind of medical care. Probably not worse than our crappy medical care. But other than that, there is no fat on the bone whatsoever, and that is the result of deliberate policy by the United States. So create economic dislocations, and of course we see that happening right here in our own country. So but we'll put that aside for a second. The next thing you want to do if you want to undermine a country or society is create social divisions. Figure out how to pit person against person, family member against family member, community member against community member, group against group. And that's done with all kinds of means. Creating news media that foments that kind of division is one of the popular methods for doing that. The CIA has done that all over the world. The British certainly did it all over the world. And, it's happening in the U.S. too, so we'll put that on our checklist. Again, in no particular order, identify, track, and destroy genuine leaders. That either by character assassination or by literally murdering them. And we certainly have that going on in our country and have for many decades. Next up, create fake social movements and fake leaders to do your bidding. Again, that's something the British were experts at, and CIA certainly has been expert at that all over the world. And another thing that we can check off our list here in the United States, I mean, Black Lives Matter, fake group. Extinction Rebellion, fake group. And you know they're fake for very simple reasons. You look at the leaders; they're all fraudsters. You look at the amount of money that pours into them, and you look at the fact that they're being bolstered by the news media. Genuine groups that are working to change the corruption in our society are ignored, and if they get any traction at all, they're ridiculed. And if the ridicule doesn't work, then they get attacked. And that attack can be anything from unfavorable news reports to threats to blackmail to physical violence. And that absolutely has gone on in the United States and to the level of physical violence, but the lower level of character assassination. I mean, we can see this with the COVID con. Any doctor, any public health official, any local government official, any scientist, any academician, did I say doctor, who dares question anything about this fraud, who also gets any kind of traction, will be attacked in various ways, delisted from the internet, books removed from the internet, fired from their jobs, ridiculed in the news media. So when you see a quote social movement coming out of nowhere and growing massively, you need to always be suspicious, because those things are literally not allowed to happen. So let's go over the list. If you want to destabilize a society so that you can take it over, number one, create economic dislocations and difficulties for regular people. Foster social division in every way that you can. And the so-called news media, which of course is just a lying propaganda sack of shit, those people can be counted on to create social division. If leaders do manage to emerge, make sure you track them, and if they get too much traction, make sure you destroy them. And then meanwhile, because people do like to think that there is some positive movement, create fake social movements, create fake leaders, and give those people maximum support, encouragement, and funding with the knowledge that they are going to do your bidding. So that's how this works. In a sense, this is probably all these techniques are many thousands of years old, but the country that really the empire that really mastered them in a very thorough, meticulous way. You got to give a hats off to the UK for that, and to the U.S. government for and corporate world for being excellent students of these methods, and being willing to employ thousands and thousands, probably tens of thousands of people who are either full-time engaged in this, or it is one of their many income streams. So this has been Brass Check, just giving you a rundown on how the world really works. Haven't mentioned this in a while, but let me mention it. These programs are free to you. They're not free to us. We have a monthly server bill. We have a monthly email bill. We have a tech helper we have to pay. And those bills are relentless. And we love it when people subscribe, become paid subscribers. You're not only supporting, paying for your own way, but you're also making this available to many, many other people. So thank you very much, and see you next time.